Enotria is another entry in the long line of Soulslike games released over the past few years. This time with a unique Italian-inspired twist in its architecture and environment. While the core mechanics may be familiar to veterans of the genre, Enotria adds a few new elements to the formula. Having played all the way through to the credits, let me share what you can expect and my thoughts on the experience. The story begins long ago when the world was shaped by music, but as time passed, a few individuals learned to control the melodies, warping the world to suit their desires. Years later, you, a puppet, awaken to challenge these power-hungry tyrants and restore Enotria to its former harmony. Your journey will take you through a beautifully crafted world where masks and equipment are key to survival. Dialogue is sparse, and there's nothing offensive in terms of language, but expect plenty of physical violence. Weapons clash with enemies, spraying dark, oily substance that could be interpreted as puppet blood. Some enemies will also have unsettling designs, though none would be considered outright terrifying, and there's no dismemberment or graphic fatalities.
Something stuck in my mouth!
Masks form the foundation of every build in Enotria. You'll collect masks from defeated enemies, with bosses dropping theirs upon defeat, while fragments of others come from smaller foes. These masks grant boosts to stats and skills, and many even offer special perks, such as additional healing charges. With over 30 masks to choose from, there's plenty of room for players to tailor their playstyle. The game's currency, Memoria, is used to purchase items and level up. You'll focus on increasing 4 virtues, boosting health, defense, or the power of specific attacks. The virtues are key to surviving tougher battles, but they also serve as prerequisites for wielding certain equipment. Balance is vital here. Ignoring the right virtues can severely limit your effectiveness. After selecting your mask, you'll pick an aspect to equip. Aspects significantly boost certain virtues while diminishing others. While the trade-offs can make builds feel powerful, you may need to invest in upgrading virtues to avoid being locked out of your favorite equipment. While Enotria doesn't boast a huge range of weapon types, it offers a lot of variety within each type. Special weapons even come with status effects triggered by heavy or jump attacks, making them invaluable against specific enemies. You can also equip 2 weapons at once, allowing for quick swapping during combat. Parry gems are the key to mastering Enotria's parry system, and each gem is designed to block a different type of attack. Melee, ranged, or magical. If you parry with the right gem equipped, you'll negate all damage. The generous parry window makes this mechanic accessible, even for players like me, who typically struggle with the timing. The Path of Innovators introduces a unique perk system that can be enhanced with innovation, which you gather from notes scattered throughout the game. Perks can do anything from boosting attack power when specific conditions are met to imbuing your weapon with an element for a limited time. You can equip up to 6 perks at a time, allowing for a high level of customization. Mask lines are unique abilities that summon ardor weapons to hit your enemies a couple times. As you fight, these abilities will charge up over time, allowing you to unleash them when needed. However, entering a save zone or starting a boss fight will reset your charge. But there were a couple very powerful lines that would retain their charge when a boss fight started. Like many Souls-likes, Enotria offers gear upgrade through anvils. Weapons gain increased damage and scaling, masks boost effectiveness, and mask lines become more potent and charge faster. Upgrading is essential as enemies grow stronger, making it a priority to stay competitive in combat. Thankfully, it was very easy to find all the materials you'd need to upgrade. One of the more intriguing mechanics in Enotria is the status ailments. Each ailment has a benefit and a drawback, making it a double-edged sword. Poison an enemy, for example, and you'll risk poisoning yourself if you get too close. This system requires players to think twice before using certain effects. There are 4 elemental types in the game, each causing a unique ailment after enough hits. Some enemies have elemental resistances and weaknesses, making strategic use of these elements important. The game conveniently displays a small circle in the top left corner, showing the order of elemental weaknesses, making it easy to plan your attacks. Enotria allows you to prepare up to 3 loadouts, each with different masks, weapons, and perks, which can be swapped outside of a safe zone. This feature is particularly handy for side quests where NPCs require specific masks to interact with. However, juggling loadouts with vastly different virtue requirements can be tricky. You can respec your virtues after defeating a difficult optional boss and acquiring a special item. While this option is a welcome feature, it's limited, meaning you can't frequently adjust your build for each new loadout. It can be frustrating if you haven't properly allocated your virtues, as taking down the boss required can be a daunting task. Have you had a chance to play the game or check out any gameplay? I would love to hear if you have any questions or anything in the comments below. And while you do that, let's move forward to my final thoughts and ratings. Enotria offers a solid Souls-like experience. Right from the start, the sheer amount of equipment and perks can feel overwhelming. It took a while for me to fully understand how some of the damage types and mechanics worked, especially since the game uses a lot of Italian words and music terminology. For example, words like presto or allegro were used to describe line charge speeds, which left me guessing for a while. The loadout system was another element I struggled with. While it's great to have the ability to swap builds quickly, the virtue system made it difficult to truly take advantage of different playstyles without a respec. Aspects helped, but didn't feel like they gave enough of a boost to the virtues. When I started, I tried leveling every virtue equally, but I ran into a few difficult fights, forcing me to select virtues more suited to my preferred build. Visually, the game shines. The environments are beautiful, and the characters move smoothly. I did encounter a few bugs, bosses getting stuck in corners and using the same attack over and over, some getting stuck in the middle of an attack forcing me to restart the game, and enemy AI occasionally attacking through walls. But these seem fixable with future patches. And now let's break down the ratings. The game's world is stunning, and the environments are well crafted, capturing the Italian-inspired aesthetic. A few minor issues, but overall it looks fantastic. It's an easy 4. While the premise was intriguing, the story's progression was unclear, and the ending left me scratching my head. It's getting a 2.
Awaits you in the castle.
Combat was fun and challenging, but some mechanics could have been explained a little better. I didn't fully grasp everything until much later in the game. It's a fair 3. There's a New Game Plus mode, but the only noticeable difference was an increase in enemy health, which felt more tedious than exciting. It's a 2. Enotria had its moments, and I enjoyed my time overall. Nothing groundbreaking, but it delivered a good Souls-like experience. I'll give it a 3. Leaving Enotria an average score of 2.8 out of 5. Earning it a cozy spot right there on the mid shelf. If you're into Souls-like games, this is one you'd want to check out. Great if you want to get it at full price. If you wanted to wait for a sale, you wouldn't be missing out on a lot. Overall, a good mid-Souls-like experience. If you don't feel like this is quite your style, check out the lists over there for some different options. I've reviewed quite a few games, and I know we can find exactly what you're looking for.